Store, which I think. Where's that? Canada Way. Just like slightly. Yeah. It's right there. Store, that area.
You're good in the back, but you've already made me table something today, haven't you?
What's that?
You've already made me table something today, haven't you? Word on the street is we got to table this one. Yes, no? They're looking for just when they get called. Any problem with that?
Your retirement is set.
That's good, yeah. That's kind of what I'm.
No, don't kick yourself in the butt. Not easy.
More kind of handling this, right?
And I don't think so. I maybe.
Okay, well then you're back out. You're back out of the house.
Yeah.
Don't.
That's the thing, just like that, you're on your own.
The links on the document, girl.
Yeah, you let me down. You're killing me. I would act like, I know I'm just kidding.
I'm talking myself. Okay. It's a 7 to 8 period. 7 to 8.
It's the right thing to do.
Yeah. I'd like to hear about having Eddie. My last boy ordered $25,000 for something.
Drop the meter.
Still, love it.
Keith. How you doing? Good.
Yeah, I know. I love pieces. But if he has anything as an engineer, it's his willingness to do things on the chair. Oh, so this was just an equipment. Somebody showed me how to do it. Nobody said that.
Because I don't know.
That's the pipe. Unfortunately, that cost is always covered.
Remember, they rolled you back and you guys went over it. Little reduction and take a lead down on
Now?
I got the tax box. Sorry, I did too.
I got a very important thing to do. This, actually, they should go to.
Tell me. I forget.
And if anybody's on there, we need
Oh, tell me.
I forgot to what's on.
Do you need to go to that?
I just need you to stay there.
get nervous.
Okay, you're on it? Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it.
How you doing? Hi, how are you?
Okay.
Sir.
Yes.
Making it on the,
You guys ready? Want to start with a pledge of allegiance?
silence cell phones.
You guys silence your cell phones if you would. And also, we do record the meetings, just so you know. So, pledge of allegiance. We're going to go with the flag back in the back. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okie dokie. First thing is a public hearing appropriating $9,725 from the Machinery Reserve Fund, Special Reserve, water equipment for the purchase of a 2018 Freightliner dump truck. Kaylee, do you want to read the legal notice?
Please take notice that a public hearing will be held by the Village of Board of Trustees on Wednesday, July 12th, p.m. or as soon as parties may be heard at the Allen Palmer Senior Center located at 31 North Main Street, New York, for the purpose of $92,725 from the Machinery Reserve Fund to buy equipment for the purchase of a 2018
I will now open it up to public comments. Does anyone have anything to say about that? Going once, going twice. Close the public comments, and I now close the public hearing. Do we need a motion to close the public hearing?
Make a motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next public hearing. Public hearing number 2. The Village of Homer anticipates submitting an application in 2017 to the New York State Office of Community Renewal for funding under the New York Community Development Block Grant Program. Public hearing is held as part of the process to solicit input with respect to the application and develop program activities. Community development funds can be used for activities that are eligible under Section 570-482 of Subpart 1 of the Federal Housing and Community Development Act of 1974. More complete details for your interesting reading can be found at Section 570.482 and will be available here if you need them. Clerk to read notice.
Please take notice, the public hearing is scheduled for Wednesday, July 12th.
Microphone.
I'm not microphoning. I'll talk about it. No, I'll talk about it. Okay. Please take notice that a public hearing is scheduled for Wednesday, July 12th at 6 p.m. The hearing will be held at the Senior Center at 31 North Main Street, Homer, New York. The meeting venue is handicap accessible for those needing such assistance. Any other persons or groups needing special accommodation should contact the village at least 1 week prior to the scheduled meeting. The public is urged to attend this public hearing to provide input into the application process, the proposed use of community development block grant funds, and to express their views or pose questions with respect to this program. Comments may be verbal or written. Information with respect to the hearing may be obtained by calling the village's community development consultant or development consultants at 753-1433. The existing community development grants and related programs are funded under Title I of the Housing and Community Act of 1974 as amended. The fiscal year 2017 funds for which the village is applying for will be provided by the federal government pursuant to Title I to New York State for Award Administration. Public hearing is held pursuant to Section 570.486 of Part 1 of the Federal Small Cities Community Development Block Grant Program regulations and for any similar state regulations that may govern the state's community development program.
And if you couldn't hear Kaylee, we do have it written down. Any public comments?
I have
Yes, sir.
a few things I need to provide for information.
Provide some information.
New location. Everybody hear me pretty well? I got a pretty loud voice. I got good to go. I'm Rich Cunningham with Toma Development Consultants. We've been hired to assist the village with community development block grant applications. The first public hearing under a CDBG program is not to discuss any specific projects, but to gather public input and comments into potential community, to provide information on the program and to collect information on potential applications and community development needs. I do have a few copies of an informational statement. I think the board has copies, so anything that I would say is here. Unfortunately, I had no idea how many people are going to be here tonight, so I've only got about 5 for you. But I will pass those around to anybody that wants it. In summary, the Community Development Block Grant Program is funding that's provided through the Federal Department of Housing and Urban Development to the state as a block grant, and the state then distributes the funding to municipalities. 51% of the funding source needs to be used or needs to benefit low to moderate income people. That's people at 80% of median income. Types of activities can include housing activities, that's housing rehabilitation, home ownership, those types of housing activities. Public infrastructure that benefits low to moderate income people. Economic development projects, including larger scale economic development projects, and micro enterprise programs that assist businesses with 5 or fewer people, as well as public facilities such as a senior center or something like that would, again, benefit low to moderate income people. So that's the real quick rundown of the program.
Excellent.
We'll leave it at that.
Thank you.
Answer the questions.
Any other questions or comments? You want to turn that microphone off? It's not needed. No? All right, can I get a motion to close the hearing?
I'll make that motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Public hearing number 3. Appropriating $103,819.39 from the, it's actually from the Fire Engine Reserve Fund, which is my mistake, for off-body, or body-off-frame replacement of Fire Engine 501.
Please take notice that a public hearing will be held by the Village of Homer Board of Trustees on Wednesday, July 12, 2017 at 6 p.m. or as soon thereafter, as the parties may be heard. At the Town of Homer Senior Center located at 31 North Main Street, Homer, New York, for the purpose of appropriating $103,819.39 from the fire truck repair funds for the body off-frame replacement of fire engine 501.
Any public comments?
Actually, yeah, Madam Mayor.
I believe we have the invoice for that.
Yep.
And it's less. So we need to actually make the public hearing to take that amount. Or maybe should it say not to exceed?
Not to exceed. We will say not to exceed.
Because it is considerably less.
Is it? Okay.
Great.
Let's change the terminology to not to exceed.
Not to exceed. We will change the terminology. What now?
You should vote.
Vote on that? Can I get a motion to change the terminology?
Make a motion.
Second.
Well, yes.
What's it, body frame
The body, well, Malin can tell
I was
you.
gonna say, hey, how about Malin, can you give us a quick,
Yes.
since you got to see it?
We just went out and looked at it last week. The work has been done. The truck is a 2003 pumper, which the village is still paying for until 2024. So we really didn't have any choice how to fix it. But it's a double channel frame rail. So the frame, the part that actually supports the vehicle, was 2 C's, one inside the other. They were just regular cold rolled steel. And as in our climate, they rust, so they were separating, and one of the rails cracked. And a DOT inspection by New York State Police, that's not acceptable. We can't put the truck on the road, so we actually took the truck out of service. The frame rails have been completely replaced by the original manufacturer, with galvanized frame rails, which is like galvanizing your garbage pail or any outside steel. Essentially, it's going to last probably longer than the rest of the truck at this point. So it's been repaired there, waiting for payment in order to put the truck on the flatbed and ship it back to us. But that's what the frame off. They took the truck entirely apart to replace these two frame rails.
Did they find any other items that needed to be repaired? I guess they did that.
There were some things which we had them do, and it's still, it's like 98 and some change. It's still less than 100, because we're like $5,000 or $6,000 under what this amount is. We're close to
Great.
that.
We'll need that for the next replacement. That's a good thing. All right.
Did we make the motion and pass it yet or no? Let's just do it.
Is there anybody else?
Anybody else that would like to speak on that?
I make a motion that we close the public hearing portion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hold on, passing the budget now.
What
We did, all we did is vote to close it.
Right,
So now we need to vote to accept it.
vote to accept.
Not to exceed.
Oh, yeah, oh, I thought we already,
No.
okay,
It's funky deals.
got it. Okay, motion to vote to change the language to not to exceed $103,819.39. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed. Good, public hearing closed. Everyone satisfied with that? Moving on? All right, we are now in the regular meeting. First thing we have to do is approve minutes. June 14th.
It's on my red phone. I'll move that we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay. All right, and treasurer report, financial statements.
I'll say one thing I like it, is we have the percent remaining budget finally. Pretty good. Is there anything that's out of whack? Without looking at everything? Okay. I'll look at it
Yep.
See a lot of 60s and 50% remaining in July, that's probably maybe a little heavy, but some of it's only got 3 months of the budget. Oh, that's remaining.
Oh,
Yeah. We're doing great.
Yeah, we're good, that's good.
Yes, thank you. We're winning NBA for, all good that is.
Any other comments on the financial statements?
I don't see anything.
I think we're all right.
No.
You want to move on to the authorization of payment of bills? Almost everybody has been down to look through the monstrous stack of bills and decide.
That was quite large.
Yes.
I move to pay the bills.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. All right, report of officers. Cemetery. 3 cremations, 1 fuel, 1 full burial. As always, they're doing a great job of maintaining it. Any other comments on the cemetery report?
I make a motion to accept the
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed, unanimous. Next, codes. So I talked with Craig, we've got a new system now. In the right-hand office as you come in the door, on the whiteboard where our sort of to-do list is, we now have a big grid of where we can list any properties that we notice that have issues. And Craig will know to come in and check those and then go address them. So I threw the 3 on Albany Street that have been repeat offenders. And I saw that you hit 2 of them for the cars parked on the lawn already with the notices. That's good. The third one we have to talk about as far as, I know, do you issue something to them for unmowed lawns or no?
Code says somebody else does, but I usually do. I will do one for that property because I went there again today and it keeps getting.
Yeah.
I'll have one of those done by Friday. Caleb will send them out.
Because I do want to, you know, we'll talk, I want to have the board weigh in, but I would like to have our DPW start mowing these lawns and charging the homeowners, because you shouldn't punish the residents just because one homeowner isn't keeping up with their property.
I'll have to check in on that, but you might have to do it by way of a lien.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also on that board, it was tough to guess because there's no numbers.
That was my fault.
I went down Meadow today and they had mowed.
They had mowed that. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I'll get numbers next time.
No, it's a beginning.
Yes,
And it's a
yes.
good beginning, because like I told you, I
Yeah.
go all the streets all the time, and a few people live in this village, so it's a lot easier for you to see and write on that board than on check it.
Yeah, and that totally makes sense. That totally makes sense, so.
My favorite, what's going on? Very
Oh.
important.
That's
Ongoing.
in the hands of the courts. So we'll have to just wait for the court date to be assigned and then move forward.
Not that you're up to speed on that. Yeah, the condition was filed earlier this week.
What do you do in case of hardship? Some person is very fragile, can't get up, mow their own lawn. You're gonna,
That's a whole different situation.
I mean, usually the neighbor will step in, but not always.
But there are other service organizations that would do it, and we can help out. It's, yeah, we don't want to crack down on those people.
But we have to know, if you know of that situation, tell me so I don't cite somebody
Yeah,
and
Right.
report it some other way. But unless we know,
yeah,
it's just a violation.
yeah.
Extraneous circumstances.
Any other comments on the codes report?
Just that I would like to commend you for your aggressive tactics when you do violate normally.
I'll second that part.
Motion to accept,
I'll make a motion.
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okey-dokey. Dogs, we have no report this month, right? So we're moving on to Streets and Parks, DPW. One of the things that we did want to tell people, we have removed a lot of trees in the village. Replacement trees we planted in the fall. So we're working on working with a landscape architect to figure out what the best varieties are, make sure that we have biodiversity, make sure they don't grow too fast and get caught up in the wires and wind up getting cut down. Because when National Grid comes through, I don't know if you noticed, they're kind of merciless in the way they trim them. They really don't care what they look like when they're done.
That's, well, they do that, it's called a 10-year cut, so they don't have to come back as often.
What happens to trees that fall across the off whose responsibility is that?
Repeat that again, sir?
What happens when trees fall across the tail field? Who takes responsibility?
I think, but I'm not positive, I want to tell you the state has to get involved with that. Because I live right next to the stream over here, down the street on Main Street, and I had a tree come out of my backyard and fell into the stream, and the guys from the state had to come and take it out because they own the property for that one. So I can only assume it's probably similar with Taffy.
And I know if you need to get a piece of equipment near the river, you need to get a permit from the DEC.
Yeah. So I would check with the state first if it's yours, or if you know whoever this tree is.
Oh, but there's a tree across over by Pine Street.
Over by Pine.
And it was damaged when water starts backing up.
Maybe even DC.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a note to reach out to the DEC on that.
I'll be happy to go with you.
Okay.
I have a question on paving.
Mm-hmm.
Who takes care of the little strip on railroad crossing between the two tracks?
I was just going to make a comment on that. We actually finally got through to a higher up with the railroad, and right now, as of now, the only one that they're on schedule to repair in Homer is on Hooker Ave, but they're going to try to possibly either throw in Cayuga or maybe Center Street this year, but the reason why they're not doing all of them is because next year they're going to tear all of it out and concrete them.
Well, the only thing is, I would defy any of the board members to do the posted speed limit on Hooker.
Oh, trust me,
Both tracks.
We know.
Oh, yeah.
Call it Rick and Rich,
Yeah.
call you in. They're terrible.
Yeah. No, but Hooker Ave is on their schedule to be repaired for sure this year.
Big one.
I don't imagine it's going to happen this month. I got a feeling it's going to happen next month.
Well, let's just keep slowing down.
But
I know that, yeah, you guys called and Harder placed at least 4 calls to them so far this year. You know how they just do it at their own convenience.
So absolutely though, we are on that.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept the streets and parks report as written.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Fire report.
Well, we already covered 501. Baylor, we're going to talk about that vacant structure with the placards later in the meeting.
Yes, I saw that. And I just talked to Craig.
Did he disappear?
Yes, he
Son of a...
Okay, well, then I thought, I think we gotta change wording. And if we can, if it happens before, I've got to be in another meeting a little after 7. So hopefully we can get that. There's a couple of things that I question on that, not anything big.
I think we were down to 4 structures that we were concerned about vacant. I wanted to make sure that, did you get that list from him?
No, but I can tell you 1, 2, 3, probably 5 or 6 right now that I can think of that should be 5.
Okay. I wanted to catch both, but you talked to them?
About the proposed law.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wanted
About the other.
I wanted you to see the list that he's tracking,
Okay.
so you were both on the same sheet of music.
If it's at the office, I just have to.
All right.
No big deal with it.
And I see that you have talking about maybe jumping in with the city, because they need to buy 2 fire trucks. We just talked about that.
Yeah.
I just mentioned that with Mayor Tobin last night, so.
Whether there's something we can do or not, we don't know. It's early, but the fire departments have been talking about that. So if we can make something happen,
Yeah.
one of us on either side are saying, it may. It's all in timing, how the money goes, who wants to buy what. But we have talked about maybe being able to do that or trying to at least look at it, so.
Yeah, if you can say, what's our price on 2, and save each municipality 10 grand. That's
Is that one of those
fantastic.
shared services things?
Yeah, it
That
sure
little,
is.
little
Cuomo law?
thing?
We've been talking about that.
Good.
But, like I said, nothing that we can guarantee in timing and funding and all
Sure.
that stuff.
It's worth a try.
Yeah, well, that's, the chiefs have been talking, both chiefs have been talking about that.
And he wants to declare the old washer and dryer surplus and donate them to Cincinnatus.
It's only a washer, we never had a dryer.
Okay,
It's gotta be 10 years old maybe, or older. We've already repaired it a couple of times. This last time we had a hard time getting a switch for it, so it's probably a good thing that we got the grant to replace that, and it's almost hooked up. It is not something that we need anymore. It does still work. The city of Portland has 2 washers. The town of Portlandville, they have a washer, and will have one, so there's 3 or 4 of them locally here probably can use. Other departments that we can use with. There isn't anything right now that anybody's got on that side of the county. Cincinnatus is fairly central to Willett, Marathon, Tyler.
that's a great idea.
So it's nothing that we have need for anymore. If we can declare it surplus and it's a intermunicipal, so I don't think we need to do anything else other than say, here it is.
Yeah,
It has no value to us anymore.
Al, can we just have, I think we should do this, I think we should have Dante just double check and make sure that we're
Sure.
doing it the right way.
sure.
And can we make a motion to approve the transfer pending approval by our attorney?
I would be happy with that. I know that we've done that before,
Second.
that we've declared things surplus. And if it was going out for sale or something else outside into the public, we'd have to do a bid and all that kind of thing. But because it's going to another municipality, a fire district, it's an intermunicipal, so.
So I'll make the motion that once it is surplus, which you got the other one set up, that pending legal review, that we declare it surplus and send it over to Cincinnati.
Perfect.
It is now unhooked, and we need the space to get it out of there because we're working on getting the other one
Okay.
in. So at any time he says that it's okay, we just assume get it out of the station.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Good. All right, and a motion to accept the fire report.
Oh, what about the interior overhead door?
I've got a couple of quotes on that, and I really got to work with Tim as the president, but I just looked at the quotes, and they're not apples to apples. One is about $1,000 less than the other. We've only been able to get 2 people to give us quotes, Jensen Overhead Door and Overhead Door Company. One is a full insulated door, all kinds of things with it. The other one is not, it's interior. It's between the apparatus bay and the wash bay.
Right.
The door that's there right now is the original wooden overhead door to the fire station. Never been anything done with. It's heavy, and once it's closed, there's no way to get from space to space. So what we want to do is to minimize the diesel exhaust exposure to where we are going to begin storing all of our members' turnout gear. Bring that door down and leave it, but have a man door, walk door, so that they can just walk through and get their stuff without having to raise the door, open it, because then you're negating the need for the door. But I just looked at the two quotes here, and they're nowhere near apples to apples, so I hate to say we want to give it to the lowest one right now, and not give the other guy a chance to bid or quote an equivalent door. Overhead door's way up, they put an insulated and on, it doesn't really need to be that because it's inside the building. So, but it's a building feature.
Right. I was gonna say,
Yes,
because you said the original's still standing right there, right?
All the originals.
Now, is this gonna detract from the look of the?
It's inside.
It's an interior door.
Interior door, can't even see it. In fact, a lot of people don't know it's there.
Yep.
But yeah, it's very heavy, it's all wood, and it's only got a manual rope, and when it comes down, it kind of slams down. And, somebody doing a restoration or something on an old barn wants to go over that door, it'd be perfect.
Right.
If we can replace that, but we've got to look at, but the money, I guess we'd have to look at building reserve or something like that. Tim says there isn't anything in his budget. He and I have talked about it. I'm not familiar right now how much is in the building reserve, but it looks like we'd be looking at less than $3,000 or thereabouts to change.
It's a no-brainer.
If there's money available in that, but I guess I want to hold once I saw the two quotes to make sure that they're right. I had two other, and I just got these today, and able to get them squared away today. Two purchase orders that I want to leave you. One is for First New Fire Services. It's our annual hose testing. There is not an amount total. We'd have to look back and see what last year's was. There will be no more than that. But it's based on per foot. It's 20 cents per foot of all of our fire hose to test. And that has to be done annually. So I have the purchase order for that and the quote that they gave us. And then Jerome Fire Equipment, Ed and Pat were in this morning. There's what they call soft goods for our helmets. And it's a sweatband and a set of ear flaps. And I'd like to order 15 sets of those for our interior folks so that they can, when they're at a fire, they get them dirty, they can take them out of the helmet along with their gear and wash them and then replace them with a dry set. So if we have another call, they can go on it. And then they just kind of keep cycling those through. There is only one supplier. It has to come from the place that we buy the helmets from, which is Jerome Fire Equipment. It's $60 a set and 15 sets to cover just the interior folks we have at this point. It's $900. So I know it's over the 800. If there isn't any place else that I can get another quote from, because that's what it's a protected territory deal, and we'll let them grab. But so those two purchase orders, if I can leave them to you folks, and I believe.
The $900 is one of our purchase requirements.
801 to under 3,000.
Right.
Tell you what,
It's
I'm
over
sure buying
800.
3/4 of them this month and the other quarter next month.
Well, we should be fine because it's a single source member. We can,
Well, and normally the issue is how many you buy in a year. Because we've tried that before, Ed, and they've said,
Doesn't work.
it's the same vendor, same thing, a month apart, what do you think you're doing? So I get your idea, but it's better off saying, and I can document this is where we get the helmets, this is the only place we can get them.
We need a waiver, nothing, or something like that, for to do that?
No, I'm just sort of looking at that tangentially from the.
All right, when you say we make the motion to approve that, again, legal review, and if we need to have a waiver, then maybe the mayor can sign it.
Well, and I can document.
Because we all agree
to
with it,
what.
for sure, we want you to have the right stuff.
Okay.
After this morning, I'll tell you what, whatever you want.
Okay.
So do we want to do 3 motions? Do we want to do one for the door, one for the hose testing, and one for the helmet stuff? The door not to exceed $4,000.
Let's wait, I mean, we're not gonna rush on the door, let's get.
No, because we've still got other things that have got to
Oh,
happen
okay.
before that, so that's why when I put it in the report, I thought we'd be okay, but when I looked at the quotes, it's like, yeah, they're not.
So of the 3, which ones have an urgency?
The hose testing is going to need to be done. The helmet stuff, I'd like to get as soon as we can.
Okay.
And then we've already done, or if we do the washer, we get it out of there as soon as we can, those would be great.
Do we want to approve the hose testing not to exceed last year's amount plus 10%?
I'll make that motion.
Seconded? All in favor?
Aye.
And do we want to go ahead and make a motion to approve the payment for the ear flaps sweatbands?
Just so everybody knows, a good faith effort shall be made to obtain the required number of proposals or quotations. If the purchaser is unsuccessful, the purchaser shall document the attempt made. In no event shall the failure to obtain the proposals be a bar to procurement. So being that Jerome is the only vendor in a protected area.
Well, we have to buy them from the person that we already have the helmets for.
Yep.
And they're the ones that are selling those. So
Yep.
that's the limitation.
We have made a good faith effort,
Yep.
and this is a safety thing. We will not let that bar the purchase of those flaps.
I'll make the motion.
It's not required.
I'll make the motion to apply the flags.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Now are we ready to approve the fire report?
I'll make a motion to approve the fire report.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Yeah, one other thing quickly. Sorry, you're gonna hate me when I come to these meetings. The report for the aerial ladder test
Yes, sir.
came today. We have one minor item that Mike has already been taking care of. He's ordered it. He knew that it was an issue the day they were here testing it. Other than that, it's passed. So the aerial is certified, or will be for another year once this part is replaced. And one of the comments that they had is that the truck is maintained in excellent condition. So
Excellent.
that's good for our DPW and the guys at the fire station that keep things going.
That's excellent.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
In the fire report, the amount of pages, they're like in district SH and district MA. What is that?
SH is Summer Hill, and it's the way our fire reporting software prints them out. I don't have a way to actually put the names, I can write them in. MA is mutual aid, that's when we provide aid to another fire department that we neighbor to. So if you look at that, VH is Village of Homer, TH is Town of Homer, TS is Town of Scott, CB is the Town of Portlandville, SH is Summer Hill, and MA is mutual aid. Yep.
All right. Police report. Tim mentioned that he has gotten several compliments already on the bike patrol.
Oh, good, thank you.
Yep, I think it's fantastic.
Yep.
And for those that aren't aware, part of that bike patrol is actually being funded by Portland area communities that care. So that's an additional benefit for us.
And that's, good. We'll go on. Sorry. I was going to try to jump up your other item and throw it in here right now. I don't think we're not really allowed to do that, am I?
Well, you could, but I think we need to get to the red X thing so that we can cover that before we get into parts.
Yeah, this one, chiefs will take 5 seconds.
On the security cameras, out of 8 vendors that I toured along with the chief around the village, we got 6 quotes back. And 3 of them are within a knack of being almost the same. I have to go through a matrix to make sure that, which one is slightly better. There's 3 of them that are there, and then 3 that were pretty much more expensive and weren't going to be able to be affordable. So we will have, pretty positive, Chief and I were pretty excited the other day, so we'll get done next week, we'll probably make an award. So we're going to have surveillance at DPW, Turkey Park, so they're not breaking doors down and over there. The Bricksfield and the water, so we're going to have all the different pumping stations monitored, and a little bit of Bricksfield for the parking lot, more or less. So anybody who tries to break into the amusement or the refreshment stand, and we actually have some quotes for the fire department outside, which is very reasonable, and the 2 water towers. So it's going to be significantly less than what we have budgeted. So I think we did a very good job, Chief. So we'll award that next week. And I'll put a note in the Homer News and talk about surveillance coming to Homer and that kind of stuff after we make the award, just to let people know that, hey, there is going to be surveillance at Turkey Park, so all your drug dealers and that kind of stuff probably stay the hell away from Turkey Park and other places.
All right, so let's, how about a motion to approve the police report?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous? Sorry, Chief, we'll have to wait on your list. You don't have to stay here for it, but, okay. Water reports.
Buzz,
Yes.
how soon before we get that thing drilled under 281?
I really can't answer that. They haven't been back to check it out. Of course, they got other jobs going on now, so they're trying to, get the time to come back over it. Once they get started, it won't take.
Okay, but this year?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Motion to accept, any other questions on the water? We're gonna have a nice big water talking in a little bit.
I'll make a motion to accept the water report.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. And the rec report.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
I will second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right, privilege of the floor. Would anybody like to speak? Yes, sir.
I'm wondering if there are any plans, or are we going to be lucky enough to get the Army Medical Clinic back like we had at the middle school last year?
Not this year, we were told.
We can't get it.
No, but we're gonna push to get it again because that was fantastic.
It was.
Yeah. And I think that they had thought they might come back to Portland County, but now I think they're not coming to the county at all. Do you know anything about that?
I know that when we initially got them, it was said that don't count on them 2 years in a row. They like to
I
spread
heard
their
that too.
way around.
Every person I talked to, every service member was just thrilled with the location they had and
Yep.
the people that came.
So the county is looking at I think they're looking at 2019, if I'm correct, next year.
Okay.
Hold on,
Can I
yes,
inter-
chief?
Well, what happened is they didn't apply, the county didn't apply enough for this year. So what they're looking at is gonna be 2018, from what I'm being told, it's gonna be SUNY Cortland right now. So even though it's nice having him here in Homer, that's what the plan is right now, so.
And one other item.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you realize, but there's services and water services in this village that are well over 100 years old. And I wonder if there's any plans to start replacing. I know at our congregational manse over here, I swear that I don't know what's holding it together, but there's roots growing into the sewer. I mean,
Yeah.
if it was cast iron, there wouldn't be any problem, but I think it's land tile or something like that.
That is item B under new business tonight. You'll hear all you ever hope to hear about water and sewer soon.
We're covering that tonight, sir.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you very much. Town hall update. One of you guys that was at the town board meeting wanna?
Well, I wasn't at the board meeting, but
Pat was, right?
Yeah, I was. Well, if you guys read the Cortland Standard, this is the latest draft. It's the same thing that was in the paper. So you guys can take a look at it after the meeting if you care to. They're going to go back and they're sending this out to bid to get some estimates. And if it comes in higher than what they're willing to go with, then they've got a different plan, which is more of the original. I don't have the original plan here. But either way, we would still stay in the area that is designated here. The costs will be covered for these renovations by the town. Right now, we're looking at different options for when to transition, and I think that's still, we're in the planning phases for that right now.
Yep. It's up in the air. So. But we want to get back there as quickly as possible, but really the town's the one that's driving the timetable.
And something to do.
Mm-hmm.
And footing the bill.
Yeah, put in the bill. Yeah, so those that write the checks get to set the schedule.
I'd like to comment if I could, because everybody in this room knows how I feel about the town hall. I have felt that way since day one, but one of my concerns was the handicap accessibility to the town hall, considering the aging population of the village. Myself, and Mary Warren, and Meg Williams went there last night. I went in a wheelchair to see just how accessible it was for a handicapped person. There's one parking space that's way over here. And I talked with Barry, we need to put one closer to the entrance. And once I got to the door, there was a struggle to hold the door open and lay yourself in. There's a push button thing to eliminate that problem. And then once I got inside the building, the elevator was easily accessible. There was plenty of room inside, and either to enter or exit was really not an issue. Once inside the building, though, I found that most of the doors were too narrow, and some of the thresholds were harder to get over. I almost tipped over. That's an easy fix as well. The bathrooms were really hard to access. They were really too small even to get into. But I think during the course of renovation, widening the doors and flattening out those thresholds wouldn't really be that difficult or that cost. Anybody have any questions?
You need a ramp at the back end to get up onto the, you've got two steps to come up there, haven't you?
No.
No?
No, it's flat in the back.
It's flat. That was an issue, just trying to hold the door open.
Yeah, I got
Get
it.
in, wasn't that much fun.
I was thinking that when you step down, before you step down, you can drag up the bridge.
you're gonna put this to the town so that you put in the quotes. that kind of
I'll
stuff.
give them a
Type it up or
copy.
something.
Barry was
Thank you for doing that, Kevin.
And just so everybody knows, the town and the village board has been working very closely on this. So when Kevin puts this up and it gets repeated in their village meeting, their town meetings, so they're tracking this and we're tracking it as well. So this is not something that we're going to let slip. We're keeping this first and front to make sure that these changes occur.
Okay. New business, Mac, sorry to keep you waiting.
Pleasure. Matt Crook in the city of Portland. I'm here to inquire if the village is considering continuing its participation in what we call the smart meter program. This would be the third phase. If you're so inclined to do it, there's a resolution that the grant requires. I don't know how much of the background. Should I just go over the top? Sure. This is the third phase. First, we are funding this through a grant, through the consolidated funding application process, the CFA process, through the Department of State, through their local government efficiency program. The first grant was done for $600,000. It included the town of Portlandville, the city, and the village. With that, we upgraded the communication equipment and the software tie-in that at the host, which is the town of Portlandville. And we installed, it's on a sheet, I think we installed 1,158 of these electronic meters. 213 went into the village, the balance went into the city. We are splitting all these meters basically on an 80-20% installation rate. Last year we applied and we received another $400,000 because it was just between the villages and the city, because Portlandville is not installing any meters, they're all fully installed and fully operational. Those meters are actually now sitting in the city of Portland's wastewater plant. Al can tell you what the installation schedule, once again, about 20% of those meters will in fact go into Portland, into the village, 80% into the city. Phase 3 of what is going to be probably 6 phases, because we can secure around a $400,000 grant on an annual basis. I think the total cost of this project is about $2 million. That's where we are right now. We will apply for another $400,000 with a 20% match, $80,000. That the match is also split, 20, 80. So village's contribution would be somewhere in the neighborhood of $16,000. Al can probably bring you what the list, what the split's going to be as far as the meters and numbers, but it's an 80-20 split.
So we need to make a resolution.
You have a draft of a resolution. The resolution has to be filed with the grant application. The city will have a corresponding sister resolution, which it will adopt on this coming Tuesday. You guys can consider that. Not, if you're going to participate in this, I would just need a certified copy of the resolution to go in and grant documents. Are there any other questions I can ask on this program?
Are you looking for a resolution?
Yeah, this is one. I make a motion that we pass the consideration of a resolution to authorize submission of a 2018 CFA local government efficiency grant jointly with the city of Portland for $400,000 to fund phase 3 of the smart water meter project, with our portion being 20%.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
We'll get you a copy of this, Mac.
Yeah.
Anything else from us?
Just call me up and I'll zip over and pick up the app. Thanks, folks.
Thank you very much.
Al, I'd like to move the Red X so
Red
we
X.
can catch Marilyn before he heads out to his next meeting.
Okay, we're going to jump to item E. the Red X. Bianca, you gonna help us through this?
Yes.
And,
I
did-
apologize, I actually gave you an earlier version of the draft.
Well, maybe, so it may be okay. You got another one with you of the current?
I have an electronic copy, I don't have the current one, unless.
Do you need one of mine?
Does that reference the actual?
Public portion.
No, it doesn't. This is the earlier version. Kaylee was able to find where the actual code is referenced, so the one I have, instead of saying the red X is.
Right, that was the question I had.
It references the actual code.
What I have on my phone, which is a part of that,
Yeah,
was vacant building placards per New York State Fire Code Section 311.
yes, that's exactly what it says.
So if it says that in place of the warning signs containing an X, if that wording is already there,
Yeah,
then we would be good. I
Yeah.
was just concerned that because there are three different versions of that sign,
yes,
one with the X, one with the slash, and one with nothing,
yeah,
that they could make that, well, my house has a slash, not an X, so
right. No, yeah, Kaylee was able to find the exact section, so the law wrote references that. I think it was 138.
yeah, I had a 2010 version of the code on my phone, and it says Section 311 in it. But Craig said that you had the newest one that had
Yeah.
that section,
Yeah.
the correct section.
Yeah.
Perfect. If you have addressed that part of it, the rest of it looks fine.
Section 311.
Yep.
5 is where that's.
Yep, that's, okay. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Okay. So if that wording is there, we're good. So if you folks are able to approve that, and we know where it's going to go, that would be a great help in getting these so that they stay on the vacant structures.
So it looks like is our next thing that we need to have a public hearing at the next meeting.
Yeah, so I handed you guys a packet sort of how to make a bill into a law. This is from an icon binder. So once we finalize the law, you guys need to get a copy of it either electronically or paper format. It's the season for 7 days. And then we can actually do the public hearing and then we can have the vote on the law.
So once we get a copy of the final law, we'll schedule the public hearing for August and then proceed.
Yeah, hopefully as quickly as I can get it back to you. The only place I don't know where to actually put the law on the code, but I was thinking it was probably in the zoning section before.
Okay.
You guys have any thoughts on that? And I want to catch changes you want to make.
All right, that's what Craig said. You need to know which section of the our code it is going to go into.
Yeah, I wanted to catch Craig on that one.
You missed him.
Well, we have a month, so we have time to figure out where to put it.
It has to season for 7
Yeah.
days, so
Do we need a motion or anything to get it started?
nope, not to get it started. Once it finalizes, we'll actually
Do all that.
schedule a public hearing and go through that process. So
Great.
right now, it's just overdrafted.
Let's shoot to see if we can get this done by the August meeting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna do the hearing at the August meeting.
Okay, if that wording is in there, you just figure out which section.
And I'll email you
Fire department is good.
the actual.
Yeah,
version
could you?
of that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You'll be in the, you know, check for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good, man? All right,
That's
thank you.
Sheriff, thank you, folks.
Yep.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
We're gonna do another quick jump real fast, because then we can cut the chief loose. We're gonna jump to item D, adding 3 roster spots to the village police department. The reason for this is to give the chief more flexibility in filling in part-timers versus using full-timers in overtime status. We still really only have 1 officer on at a time unless it's a special event or the bike patrol's out there, but the bike patrol's funded separate. Did I sum it up good enough?
Yeah.
For it.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Unanimous. There you go, chief, you can leave.
People should know that the chief is going to be in the dunk pool this weekend.
He is gonna be in
So
there.
for $10, you can have a guaranteed dunk.
A guaranteed
A guarantee, you put down 10 and he's in.
You know, I want to make a mention before I leave. August 4th, we're doing Cops on Top again at Dunkin' Donuts. It's a fundraiser for the Special Olympics. Get 3 or 4 of my officers, they volunteer their time to go up there and raise money. So I know it wouldn't be in time for next month's meeting, but I want to make that, give that little plug for it. It's a great cause.
Yeah, please remind me of that, chief.
Put
I'll
it in,
the
we'll
home
put it in the
news.
news on our
Yeah.
page, yeah.
Okay.
We'll put a little thing in there or something.
Chief, you said August 4th, right?
August 4th. So when you pull in, if you see us there, it's not, we're checking
That's a
seat belts,
Friday, I
we're
believe.
trying to help out the Special Olympics.
Do other villages do it as well?
Yeah, and actually last year we raised more than the city of Portland and the county.
Really?
So, yep,
Awesome.
Excellent.
yep.
Good deal.
Thank you,
All right.
chief.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Sure no one else wants to go?
we're gonna do everybody but you first, because you drove the farthest.
You want an intro or do you want me to intro?
You intro yourself, because I can never pronounce the second word of your firm.
B&L, that's the way to say it.
B&L.
So my name's Chris Lawton. I'm with Barton LaJudas Engineers, or B&L for short. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in 2015, I think Kevin may have been the only board member that was still there.
I was.
I believe Carly was there, but I don't know.
Kaylee.
Or Kaylee in your current capacity? Okay. So, seeing that, I think what I was gonna do is I think I'll put it back up and kind of talk about the sewers right from the beginning, just to get everyone up to speed. You guys, I don't really have a great big map, so if you have questions, I can always back up or we can come up after to see. So in 2014, the state started a program that if you want to do a sewer project, you have to get a report to them. That report costs money, it takes a lot of man hours, no one was doing them. So they came out with an idea, we're going to pay for the report. So you apply for an application, we give you $30,000, you have to go out and investigate your system. You take those results, you put it in a report format that they have a guideline for, and you submit it to them, and then you can get on their list for funding. So that's what we did. In 2015, we started, we got obligated that money. We went out in the system, and I'm going to kind of talk about what we did in the system. These maps, can't really see from there, so I'm just going to talk generalities for now. The system has, better picture here, I'll show you the sub-areas. It has multiple sub-areas which drain flow.
That's all right. We made you wait.
So, color-wise, you can see each color, I'll back up for you guys, each color is a different area that water flows to, okay? Water comes down and then it hits another sub-area, so it's kind of like a drainage basin. Talk about a watershed, and it goes to a point and there's a new system. So you have multiple areas within your system. We want to evaluate everything. So how do we do that? Well, first we go out and we inspect every manhole. We have about 433 manholes in the village. And we went out in a couple days with Buzz and his guys, and we popped every manhole, and we fill out a form. How's the manhole top? What's the inside look like? Is it leaking? Blah, blah, blah. We got into, I want to say, Buzz, it was about 375 of the 430. So of that, about 65 to 70% of them need some sort of work. They're leaking to some degree. So if you think about a leaky manhole, that water gets in, it's clean water that's supposed to be kept out, that gets flushed down, and as it enters the city, you're paying for that water. By a meter, you're paying for clean water to go to the city to get treated. So we want to identify those manholes. The second step is we go out with a smoke machine that sits on the top of the manhole, and we push smoke out into the system. And what that's supposed to do is we kind of isolate areas, and we want to see where smoke comes out of the ground, out of a catch basin, that should be just storm water, out of a house, out of a roof drain, into a basement. So we want to find all those, what we call inflow sources.
And you've already done that.
This is all stuff we did, yeah. So I guess with that question, I guess I'll say, I talked to Hale, or Hale got a hold of me and said, hey, I heard you guys did a sewer report a few years back, but nothing came of it. Can you come down and talk to us? So I met with him and Pat, we talked about it, and they said, hey, can we do this at a board meeting? So that's kind of why we're here. So, where was I? Smoke testing was the second phase. So what we want to try to do is we want to take that whole system, and we want to isolate certain areas that are bad, identified by the smoke. We take those areas, and then the third step is to go out and put a camera in the sewer. And we actually take those areas, and we have an actual robotic camera that goes through the sewer. Now, the village was in a unique position where they had an organization called New York Rural Water, actually helped out significantly with the smoke testing and with cameraing. So you guys probably did a lot more than a normal project would allow. $30,000 with some contracted services doesn't really go a long way. Usually we're only able to look at, 4,000, 5,000 feet. And you guys got to be able to look at most of your system, I believe, in the end, yeah. So that being said, the system has been evaluated in terms of what type of structural integrity is it in. Then we take, you guys have these little tags up here, these yellow boxes, those are all pump stations. So you have 9 pump stations, Buzz? 9 pump stations. Because it's fairly flat in the village, you can see gravity, sewers flow downhill, they get to a part that's so deep they can't flow anymore, you gotta pump it back up, get it back to grade to start. So you have 9 pump stations. We go out in those pump stations, we pump test them down. We turn them on, we see how long it takes to come back up, and we run through a calculation to see is that flow in that system indicative of the flow that it's receiving from houses. Generally, it's not. It's probably more, and that means it's leaking. Okay, how much flow is a base average flow versus how much flow is coming from rainwater? So we can kind of attribute that. And then we go out and we actually take flow meters and we put them in the sewer at certain junctions, and we wait for rainstorms. And during that rainstorm, we know from your billings from the city what your average flows are. About 450,000 gallons a day. Does that sound about right?
Average?
Let's call it 500,000, yeah, average day throughout the year. That's average, so that's not bad. That's wet and dry, but that's all year. During rainstorms in April, May, that spiked to 1.7 million. So you have almost 400% leakage in your system. Now, where's that coming from? We kind of know, because we know the areas that are bad. A lot of the smoke testing results, we won't get into the details, but a lot of them are on the private side. Not necessarily Buzz's mains that he maintains, but on the homeowner laterals. That just came up, laterals that are old. You know, you get roots in them, they separate the joints, that smoke comes out of the ground. Roof drains, that becomes a private matter. Sump pumps, that becomes a private matter. So, but those are all things that we can address. So, in the bigger picture, what's that mean for you? Well, you have an agreement with the city. All your flow goes out to the city. Cortlandville comes down and intersects that flow. That goes into a pump station and is metered. Your meter is based on straight whatever flows through that system, whether it's clean, dirty, or from Cortlandville. So you're being billed based on all 3 of those things. You want to get it narrowed down to just as much dirty water only as you can. So the 400%, you want to knock that down first. That's really what you want to do. You want to eliminate that water, whether it's coming directly in from a source, like a manhole top is kind of skewed, water runs down the street, drops right at the top of that manhole. That's the source. Maybe there's a storm drain that somehow years ago they didn't know where to put the storm drain, so they tapped the sewer. That's an inflow source. I don't believe we really found any of those at this point. Or homeowners with roof drains and sump pumps. Those are inflow sources. The majority of the other types of flow is just leaky joints. Pipes that are underground, below the groundwater surface, that have little cracks in them. They seep water, but you get 1,000 of those, and that becomes gallons or hundreds or thousands of gallons. So what we do is we package all this, and now I have some handouts for you. And we come up with a recommended, a recommended project, which we call a sanitary system rehabilitation. We itemize it. I won't go through each item, but ultimately it comes out to about $1 million project. Most of the work, though, because the mains aren't in awful shape, is trenchless technology. It's that you can roll in a liner, cure that liner in place, that liner seals off the cracks, and you don't have to dig up the streets. So a lot of these line items, if you look at 4, 5, and 6, those are all the cured in place liners. There's some footages that we're going to find where maybe there's a rock that's protruding through the top of the pipe. You just got to fix that, and once you fix it, then you run the liner through it. So there's some areas like that we did identify. Manhole replacements is probably one of the biggest items. The sanitary manhole rehabilitation would be item number 12. We had $438, let's call it $450,000 worth of manhole rehabilitation. I actually have a couple copies because there's a lot of paper here. I didn't really want to get all of them, but I'll just give you guys a couple to look over. These sheets, without going into detail, are every manhole and the deficiency that's in every manhole in the street. So this map numbers every manhole. That sheet says what's wrong with each manhole that's out. So this is some sort of a project that, whether or not you actually get funding to do the whole project, Buzz could take something like that and either hire subcontract someone or do it himself, so he knows what the process is. But what we want to do is, and what never got done, is this went to the funding agencies, got on the list, and kind of just sat. It didn't score all that well because there's not overflows that are leaking into the river that I know of, at least. Sanitary overflows, that's usually a big point getter. But what happens is you get rated against every other municipality in the state on what's called the intended use plan, which is a big fancy name for just a project list. So they take every engineering report. This is what it looks like right here. This is all the data that we have on your system. And they have certain criteria that they check boxes on, and they add up those scores. And the high scores are in the 80s, the low scores are in the 10s, and your scores are a little, I think it was 38 points if you look at that third page on that. Which one do you have in your hand? No. So if you look at the third page on this one, the second one I handed out. So you'll actually see about 3/4 of the way down, you'll see the Village of Homer.
Oh, yeah.
C7, 34 points. So that's your project. You're there, you're listed. The problem is on the first page,
103.
look at the first page, you actually have a dotted line across that. And that's 54 points. That's the cutoff for funding. So they basically have $300 million or whatever that pot holds. And that's obligated to them through the state, and they work their way down through those projects until they run out of money. The fancy thing is, though, that they do is if you all of a sudden move forward with your project, they'll give you 1,000 points. So they'll say to those communities that move forward with a project on their own, without us, giving them money up front, we're gonna bump you to the top, and now you're funded. So there's a little catch there. You got to kind of take a jump, say, like, we don't look at this funding, but we may have to bond it for ourselves for a year or two. And then all of a sudden, you could, that was a step we never really got to. The second thing is that since 2000, probably late 15 when I came and presented this information, the atmosphere has changed considerably. There's a lot more money out there. You guys have probably seen all the 300 million here, 300 million here, water infrastructure grants. There's a lot more money out there that you can apply for. That's not just this agency right here. You may be through that agency, but it's a different project. So my recommendation.
Do you guys go for that for us?
We do. There's actually a gentleman in Cortland, Terry Duell, who works for this funding agency. He's out of the Cortland region. We invited him tonight. He wasn't able to make it, but my recommendation is that we sit down with him soon and we actually talk strategy. He's what's called a co-funding coordinator. He's the guy that meets with EFC, talks with them about projects, meets with other agencies, meets with the municipalities, and tries to put good words in for you and figure out how best to situate the project for funding. He's done some pretty unique things for us where maybe a community didn't strictly meet the requirements, but we were able to kind of smoke and mirrors and all of a sudden get some pretty good funding packages.
How many points is hardship status worth?
Hardship is more based on medium household income.
Right.
It's not based on score.
No.
The catch is that you have to be above the funding line to get it first. So you get hardship status, but you got to start the project first before you get above that funding line. If you've heard of medium household income, that's 56,000, I believe, right now, and you and I talked about possibly trying to evaluate that's actual. I don't know if the gentleman that was here, Toma, if you guys are doing a income survey.
We are going to hopefully vote on an income survey.
Okay.
That's-
So that could help tremendously. $56,000 seems high to a lot of people when you say it, and they said, well, I don't think so. If we can get that down, the statewide average is 58. If you are below that, you're okay, you're 56. But if you're 80% or less below it, like 40,000, there's a whole other door that opens up for funding. So, I mean, anything less than where you are now just gives you opportunity. So I would say that that's an avenue to go down.
Okay.
That's another thing that Terry can help with. Because
Okay.
knowing that you're going through that, Terry can help, you know, go through that with funding agencies
Okay.
and maybe position us better. So, all that said, the last piece here is really all that matters, is what does this cost? What does this cost the homeowner if we were to do a project, right? And that's really in the end what everyone in the public wants to probably hear if we're gonna do a capital improvement project. So that $1.5 million project that we said we evaluated, works out, this is based on 0% interest, which is kind of the hardship, which is the
Right.
best deal you could get. Works out to $51,000 a year. We worked with, I don't believe it was Kaylee, it may have been Luann at the time, and we developed a system for the village, what's called equivalent dwelling units. Are you familiar with EDUs? Okay. What's a typical family house is one, and you multiply that times how many of those you think you have. We ended up with about 1,458, call it 1,500. So if you divide that 51,000 a year, if you went out and bonded that on your own, you would get about $35. Now, if you did it on your own, you wouldn't have 0% interest. You'd have some interest factor.
Right.
So I would say that would probably go up a factor of maybe 20%, 25%.
Right.
So call it $50. Still not all that bad, but it's still a chunk of change for a lot of people, especially
Sure.
on fixed incomes. So that's the goal, is to minimize that in the end. What I think could happen, I think we can get 0% with working with Terry and some of the funding agencies, and I think that we can get considerable grant money with some of the other, stuff that's out there. Unfortunately, the CFA process just kind of is closing now, but I would say what we want to do is talk to Terry over the next 6 months, get it positioned so by the next round, you're ready to just submit those applications. This is the big lift.
Right.
This is what takes a lot of time and what holds up a lot of municipalities is getting this done. You already have it, now you can start handing it out to funding agencies with Terry's help.
Perfect.
And get this out. So, there are some things here that I think, we could probably work with Buzz on and prioritize, some of the stuff that's there. The one other thing that came out of this whole issue is that you have Portlandville, which is in the town. Portlandville system has not been evaluated. Portlandville system contributes to your billing, and I believe you pass on money to Portlandville or accept payment from Portlandville based on flow meters. Is that how it's worked?
Bruce and Buzz.
Okay.
Yeah, my understanding is that Homer proffers a bill to Portlandville based on the metered usage of those customers that are Portlandville residents that contribute to that section of line.
It's a drinking water.
So, right, so it does not account for any I&I that might be in that section.
Right. So, and I think that is the conversation. We actually started some conversation with the supervisor at the time. Didn't really go anywhere, but I know that we had a line of communication open. I would suggest opening that back up. Maybe doing something similar to this.
Right.
Their system's a lot smaller, so
Right.
I don't think it would be that much, or look at a different way of billing. A flow meter.
Because essentially we're subsidizing.
You're not accounting for, unless you say, hey, we're gonna add 50% to your system, to your water bill or your sewer bill, because we know that there's I&I. So I think that just needs to be looked at to get a real accurate look at what's going through your system. And ultimately, you're paying for every drop that goes through that meter.
Right.
So you wanna make sure, I think the meter may have been updated or calibrated when we were.
It's been calibrated.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets calibrated annually.
Okay.
I just wanted to add, I know I mentioned this to you in our meeting, but for the benefit of the other board members, that in addition to the direct benefits that the village would get from a project like this, there's a larger indirect benefit for the community, and that is that restores hydraulic capacity at the wastewater treatment plant, which allows us to host additional high usage users such as Byrne Dairy, and that may mean jobs for residents.
So economic development pitch,
So
absolutely.
you're for it?
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it's kind of the way, you know, we don't want to make plants bigger just to accept the flow that's coming when it's not really sewage.
Right.
So DEC's always focusing in the collection system first before they really want to go to the plant. So it would help Bruce tremendously, just giving them, you know, reduction of a 400% INI to even a 200% INI is a big
What's INI?
deal. Inflow and infiltration. So that's the water that leaks in from the surface and the water that leaks in the ground. So, go ahead.
Just want to clarify, because it kind of shocked me here a little bit. On a normal day, we pump 450,000 to 500,000 gallons.
Yep.
During a rainy day in April or May, you said 1.7 million?
Yeah, I have
That is
I have a chart right here.
That's a lot of leaks.
I have a chart.
To me, I don't know what we charge, give you a good charge.
We were actually April 13th, 2015 was the highest flow, and that was just shy of 1.75 million.
And what does the Portland charges per 1,000 million gallons?
Actually, it's not a per gallon charge, it's a pro rata charge. Basically, we take our total O&M costs and our total debt costs for that quarter and multiply it by the ratio of Homer's metered flow against the flow coming into the plant.
Take a guess what a million gallons of water in a day would cost us.
Oh, I don't have a guess.
$5 a 100,000 or $100 per? Was it a $50,000 bill or $5,000 bill?
Oh, per quarter?
Yeah.
I think you guys typically get between $60,000 and an $85,000 bill per quarter. But I can do a.
No, I'm just saying, you know, we're
Yeah.
Those are
$1
real
million
numbers.
is kind of a big number to bite.
Yeah.
This is,
But if you're spending 80 or 20,000 on rainy days,
Oh, yeah.
we've had a hell of a rainy spring.
Right.
What did it cost us already and got us nowhere? That gives us incentive for this board to do the right thing for the
The
people.
tempering factor is that no system is tight.
Right.
So when your flow goes up, the other communities that share our treatment plant also go up. The question is, do they go up by as much? And what often happens is that Homer's share of that pie will go up more sharply than communities who don't get quite the same percentage of INI.
So it's buzz $5,000, $10,000 a quarter more for rain and inflow that we're paying.
Well, I think
Some guesstimate.
our budget is darn near $500,000 for sewer treatment
All right, so 500,000
a year.
I mean, you could.
But it doesn't
run the
rain every
numbers.
day,
so, yeah, but think about the cost of the project annually is about $50,000.
I know,
think we
to
could-
me,
I think we
I
should
don't know why
save the
we're not doing
residents
it.
that much money just by tightening this up.
Yeah, I mean, and the tough
Yeah.
discussion is always, how much would we save if we did that? That's kind of where we're leading to. And we don't want to say, hey, you're going to clock out 100% because you're not.
I
Is
have
that
to be-
30, is it 40, is it 50? That's a guess.
It's
and
going to be all right.
But
And
it's
for
good to
those
know.
hardships for the people who can't afford the extra $50 a year,
Yeah.
divide that by a quarter, we could probably do some kind of hardship kind of thing and help
It's-
them out.
It's good to talk generalities when you talk savings, but not exact numbers. I think.
Yeah, I understand.
And you know, I actually did some billing simulations about 3 years ago, where I simply put in data as though you had managed to cut INI by, I think it was 25, 50, 75%. And I was surprised the savings were not what I would have expected. Definitely there are savings, but I think they may not be as dramatic as you hope, but it is still a project worth doing.
So it would cut down the $50 down to 30 or something.
Possibly.
Do you still have a list of things that, the repairs you could make that would give you the most bang for your buck?
We do.
that would be the thing to start on, I would think. The most drastic leaks or whatever.
I mean, the project itself is all of it, but there is a priority list of what are the worst areas. So when you evaluate sewers, there is a industry standard of rigging a manhole, for instance.
Right.
How bad is that leak? How bad is that break? And those are all coded in the programs that we use, and that's all in the data. That's why this thing's so thick. So you can go through each manhole and figure out this one's worse than that, and this break's worse than this break. So that could be done.
We have a copy of that at the village office if you want to come look at the report.
That'd be great, yeah.
Bruce, do you still have that, those numbers that you did for the 15, 20, 25?
I can look. It may not be as applicable now. I would be happy to recreate that with more current numbers. If I could just get a few quarters of actual metered usage from either Haley or Buzz, I can recreate that
If
simulation.
you could, that would be great.
That would be great, thank you.
So Bruce, you're in favor of it, Buzz?
I just want to say, though, you know, if we don't do anything, you know, we're just leaving this to the next generation, it's going to be worse.
Right.
We'll do nothing.
So Buzz, you're in favor of it?
Yeah.
So am I.
It doesn't get better by itself.
How big an impact is this gonna be on you guys for having to do like repairs all the time and stuff? Like, is it gonna be a dramatic decrease in repairs problems, like during the winters or anything like that for you?
Wintertime on the sewers is a little hard, because a lot of stuff that we use can't, you got below zero, doesn't work too good.
Yeah.
And you can't really camber in the winter because of the steam,
Right.
because it's a lot warmer down there, things like that. Project in the wintertime, but no, there's a lot of stuff we can probably, like you said, we can do ourselves. There's sealers and stuff you can use for your manholes. The recoating and stuff really helps the inside of the manholes, keep them nice and longer.
Excellent.
There's a couple pump stations that we had grouting and fixing too. I don't know if you did any of that stuff. I know you said you did one pump station, you kind of redid.
We did Clinton Street.
So there's like $50,000 in there, so this covers everything.
And so we talked about that money for that pump station could be moved over to moving the pump station when we have to redo the bridge. Well, the town does the bridge, which would be a good thing for
So
us too.
the next action item here is to set up a committee, or what do we need to do to make something happen?
What I would recommend is, you know, I'd offer to come and meet with you and Terry. Yeah, so, you know, yourself, Mayor, and another board member is probably really all that's needed at this point, just to hear what he has to say, and then we can bring it back to the larger board, you know, and try to position ourselves. Well, are there funding agencies, others that we have to talk about? Has the environment changed that we gotta kind of reapply? And we just gotta hear what he has to say.
Our next work session is the last Thursday of the month, here at 4 p.m., I believe it is. Maybe that would be a good time for you guys to come.
Sure.
That way we're all here, and then Bruce, if you wanted to come, and Buzz.
Is it during the day?
4 o'clock.
8 o'clock at night.
Now, let
We'll
me,
put you on first,
yeah,
I
let me,
promise.
yeah. Let me talk.
It's not a voting time.
Let me talk to Terry and see if that's doable.
Okay,
If that's doable, then yes, otherwise
That'd
we just meet during the day.
okay.
Would you want these? Would these be any use to you guys? I mean, I've left them here before, I don't know if they're still around, but I have no problem taking them, but.
Yeah, we will keep
You
them.
think you keep them?
Yeah, we'll
I'll
take
leave them, I'll leave them.
That way we can reference
I'll
it
leave
at
these
least.
the board there with you.
You won't have to bring them again when we
Like
talk.
camera, sometimes that happens anyway.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wow. Good help.
Million gallons.
Yes, yeah.
Somehow Toma got cut twice, Richmond in the beginning, it's actually Karen, I gave him the
Ah, sorry, Karen.
That's okay.
You're next.
You're
up, Karen.
Okay, wonderful, thank you. Good evening, I'm Karen, I am the Crawford County Business Development Authority.
Thank you.
And I'm here tonight to talk to you about the current MAP grant that you have in place. We were awarded the monies back in December of 2015, and we were able to allocate all those monies to projects in October of 2016. However, fast forward to May of 2017, we had other projects withdrawn. So that freed up $8,675 that we could go back out and allocate to all those projects. So, and by the way, I'm not the administrator for this What we did was we advertised that we had the money available to get any new projects out there as well as the existing projects that weren't fully funded in the first round. And the response from that is we ended up with 7 replies from existing businesses, 7 out of the 9, well, actually 7 out of 8 that went good through. So we all had all but one. And we also had 2 new projects come forward that wanted to access the funds. We put all the materials together and our review committee met. And so the results of the review committee, we have tonight our chairman of the review committee here, Roy Duco, and Mayor McCabe is on the committee, and also trustee Pat Phelan is on that committee. And after looking at all, it's mutually agreed that they would like to fund the higher amount of $3,675 to one of the new applicants, which would be the Ed Bakery. I was going to call it fire, that's Ed Bakery. What they would like to do is they would get some equipment, some additional equipment, they would use some signage, and there's a variety of things they would use the money for. So my purpose here tonight is to ask the trustees if we could approve that allocation of the remaining funds, the $8,675 to the Ed Bakery. So they commence on their project. Now, what does that mean? That means as of if we were to approve it this evening, that means they would start their project immediately, which is really necessary because we have to have all the monies out to all the projects by December 1st, 2017. So we have very tight window.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Great, thank you very much. If you ever have any questions on the grant program,
You're great.
We're in for,
I
next.
see earlier you're here with the Atoma, there's putting in for another
Do
one.
more.
The response, the existing projects have some really great things that they can do. And then there's another new project that came forward, they're still going to be around, and I think we're getting more response in the next one.
Would you consider administering the next round? Because you did a great job, and I really want to thank you, because I know it was a lot of hard work.
Thank you. You put out for an RFP for it, I'm doubtful our office will respond, but I can't say for certain that. It depends on the makeup of the workload in the office. It is a lot of
I know.
work.
It has to be a lot of work.
It's been a pleasure. I mean, I've really enjoyed it a lot. But you never know what will happen. I guess I can't speak for my office.
Well, thank you very much. You've done a great
Thank
job.
you.
Kevin, do you have a question?
I just got a quick question. How was the number of 5 employees included? How was that divided?
This is a HUD program. This is the program that we approved earlier, and it comes through HUD, and they said it's a micro enterprise program, so we need a small business, and that's just the threshold that HUD has in place, is the 5. And it's one of the things I don't like about programs, it's the owners and the employees, and they don't do full-time equivalent employees, which most grants will try to take part-timers and group them together and get one full-time person and then count them. Unfortunately, this program says just every head count. So you have to look at the owners of the business and then every head count at the time of application to see how many people you have. So if you have a partnership, say 2 people, and then they could have more than 3 people pulling the paycheck.
Well, see, 'cause I have no full-time. If I pile them together, I come up with like 2 or 3.
Your business has no full-time?
No.
Oh, but you have a whole bunch of part-time. Right, that's the unfortunate part. See, one of the main things, I love this program, it's one of my favorites, with the exception of that feature, that's one feature.
No, it's a great program. I love it. A lot of people in the village benefit.
Yeah.
I would like to be one of them.
I would like to be one of them too, yeah, it's, I mean, it's great, this is, yeah, I don't agree with that feature, but, yeah.
I was just wondering,
They don't ask me.
I was just wondering how it was determined, and how it was divided.
Well, the way you determine, you have to verify it, so you have to turn in your NYS 45 reports, which are your New York State income tax employee forms that you file quarterly. So when somebody applies for a program, you have to verify that by turning in that NYS 45 that shows how many people are on that list. And then you also have to verify who's in your company, your ownership of your company. So if you're sole proprietor, that's easy one. If it's a partnership, you get a tax return, you can verify how many people. So, but it isn't a daily application, so for a seasonal business, I have seen an instance where they may have, 10 people, say, in the summer, say, like in the city where it's a college town, or in the winter time, right? Then come summer, they may let some of their workforce go, so that's kind of a loophole. If you're seasonal at all, the timing of it ever fit where, you know, you were down, your numbers were down, and you had in your business ownership, you're under five, you can have five plus you. The only thing I would add was SD, unfortunately, you would be eligible, because you're part of the approving, I mean,
Kevin, you have to fire yourself.
I mean, maybe if the time ever came, I would say ask for New York State to come in and put in comments on it, maybe if you excuse yourself, they may allow it as an applicant.
And then how closely is it monitored to make sure that the money that was allocated for certain things gets spent only for that?
It's, well, it's a little, it's specific, we like that terminology.
I do.
It's, when you apply, you say, they actually give us a list of everything, and they show us examples of cost, what it would cost to buy those things. So within the language that goes into the contract, will say equipment, including, but not limited to, and will name everything they say they would buy. But, so there'll be a number associated to equipment, but when they go to purchase, they get some things cheaper, they can actually buy things that have a longer list, it's not just equipment. So it's specific, but it allows for some extras to come in, as long as it's meant for the business. I mean, it's very difficult to cheat the program, to get something that you really, that could be used personally and in the business. You have to put in a statement saying we're using it for the business, and the village takes a UCC on it, you know, a lien on the equipment use service. So great. Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for Karen?
Great.
Thank you very much
I
again.
appreciate it. I don't, it's not a present, I don't want to be informal, but in your letter office, there'll be something, and they asked me to return it to you. Oh, there you go.
Oh, it's a hat.
Okay, your hat.
Oh, man. I left my coffee mug at the county yesterday, too.
Oh.
I figured that's.
I didn't bring it.
Oh, that's one of my papers.
So I will.
Pretty sad.
I will prepare the contract with the letter for
Great.
it, when I spoke to them today, and I'm back to the letter, but I'll prepare to make it back, and again, we need your signature, and then I'll see what we talk about.
Perfect.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Okey dokey. The next thing is, we did have a request from the school superintendent to change the restricted times in that little loop in front of the elementary school. They've been having a lot of problems with cars going in and out of the buses, and it's a dangerous thing. And Dante did research it, and already we have the time and place. Maybe a copy of this in your packets.
Is this the email here? Al?
Yeah, that's the one.
I read it.
So we actually have it from 8 to 9 now, no through traffic. And 3:15 to, no, that's what they want. Yeah.
Yeah, it was everything but 15 minutes is already prohibited. So I think maybe it's 7:14 and they want it to 4:30. I'm not sure.
So it's currently 8 to 9 a.m. and 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. on school days.
So we just need to add the 15 minutes in the afternoon, correct? Yes. And then some additional signs, and then some enforcement, which we would need to work with Chief Edmond on.
Some advertisements.
Yep, we'll advertise in the Homer News. So I'm thinking what we want to do is the same as with the Red X law. work on this for the August session, and then way we can get a notice about it in the Homer News, and that way everyone will be alerted to it before the school year starts.
15 minutes or the end of it, what's the?
So the new times would be 8 to 9 stays the same, and just be 2:30 to 3:45, adding 15 minutes to the 3:30, so 2:30 to 3:45.
Well, they're asking to take half an hour off.
Well, I don't think
Morning.
yeah, I don't know if they really want, I don't know if they really want it. We'll have to ask if they really want to take
Anything you
time
think that
off.
half an hour should go down is make it 7:30 to 9,
If any.
right? Because that's when the buses start pouring in there, isn't it?
This is the, these were the specific times that were presented to me that they asked for.
It seems odd that they would cut it half an hour.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I'm not sure that they really want to cut it. I think this is what they're saying the problem is occurring. And I don't think they maybe realized that it already was prohibited at that time.
And that's what I'm wondering, if just because it's been creeping in, people
Right.
keep creeping in at 8:05, 8:10, 8:15.
Right.
We just need to
So
reestablish that. it's
I'll double check with Nancy and see.
Ask them if they want to make it, like 7:30 to 9:30, give you a bigger window.
Yeah. And we're gonna have to talk about parking passes for people going to the church and things like that, because, and, the same as teacher passes, so that they can get in there.
Because they have people sit at the intermediate school to make sure that you don't go in there unless you're a bus or a employee. Yeah.
And I don't think they have that at the elementary because the crossing guard's busy doing crossing guard duties.
Well, they actually have 2 people, they've got one doing the
Yeah,
crossing.
they got one doing the crossing and
And
one
then they
doing
have
just
another one
the
that's
entrance.
actually at the entrance to the,
So they just haven't been enforcing it.
Right.
So yeah, we'll work on this, but we'll do this just like the Red X. We'll do it at
we'll
the next.
readdress this at the August session. That should give us plenty enough time before the September
Yeah.
school
And
starts.
then we can notify everyone of the change.
Okay. So do we
Just
need
looking at what
to
the actual school says as far as times they want to go with, if they do want to extend the early one, we'll do that too, but it's.
Yeah, I'll check with them. I don't think we need a motion. I think it's just what we'll do.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll check with the school and then I'll let Dante know. Okay, the next thing is the SPCA agreement for services. We don't have to act on this tonight, but we're the only municipality that doesn't have an agreement with the SPCA right now. I did speak with Chief Pittman about it tonight. He had actually no problem with it. He said that they only probably call the SPCA in about 12 times a year. And it's either when they can't get a hold of Lindsay or if it's a type of animal that she does not deal with. And they're just asking that we pay them per diem, $20 per hour for their officers and then mileage. When we call and utilize their services. So there is a somewhere in our packet here.
Dante, have you seen this?
Yeah, it's just 2 pages before the solar application. Portland County SPCA agrees to respond to calls of animal cruelty, neglect or abuse, ill or injured cats, exotic calls regarding animals not considered companion or domestic. We receive calls regarding any animal issue with the exception of dog control issues, as the village has its own dog control officer for those type of issues. The price for the SPCA responding to these calls for the village of Homer will be per diem. The per diem charge will be $20 per hour per officer needed and 53 cents per mile. An invoice will be made for each call and submitted to the village for approval for payment after the call is made.
I'd like to take a look at this based off of what our current contract is.
We don't have a contract.
No, not with the SPCA, but with Lindsay, to make sure we're not doing duplication of services.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that she comes for a lot of these things, but we can look into it. I mean, if there's a rabid raccoon, I don't think she's gonna go get it, is she?
Is SPCA going to get it?
I would think, right?
Well, yeah.
mean, I did ask Chief Pittman, and he said he had no issues with it whatsoever. He thought it was a good idea, but if you guys want to postpone it, you know, we're talking about probably about $200 a year here.
Let's say go for it. It's not a big deal. And it's probably unlikely it'll be used unless somebody's got a python that gets loose or something.
I still, I agree with Kathy, you want to double check.
I just want to make sure we don't have duplication of services and make sure that we have clear lines of jurisdiction as to who's
All right.
going to cover what.
All right. I like clear lines of jurisdiction. I don't like territoriality.
Right,
So
exactly.
if someone's being territorial about it, I don't like that, but I like jurisdiction. I like
Right.
defined responsibilities, that's fine. So we can table this until next week.
Who's got the action item to follow up?
Pat does.
I do,
He's
since
gonna
I'm
be
the one that
Lindsay.
stirred the pot.
Yep.
Just want to make sure.
Pat's gonna have that. Okay. All right, so the next item is Verizon phone system. We met with Verizon. We have two proposals. They're not quite together. They're, one's on the large format stock, and it starts with One Talk Design. The other one here says Kika at the top. So the issue that we're having in the office is we don't have an answering machine, we don't have caller ID, we don't have a phone tree, we don't have call forwarding, amongst other things. So the volume of calls that comes into the village is pretty high. So we met with Verizon to see what we could do to mitigate that. I mean, just an answering system alone. So they came by, you can kind of skip through their proposal till the end, but you'll see what they've mapped out what they think the system would look like. So you call, press option 1 for Parks and Recreation, option 2, Billing and Treasurer, and then you hit that one, option 1, Water and Sewer Billing, option 2, Tax Billing, option 3, Treasurer. Then if you hit, go back up to the top, option 3 would be Codes, DPW, Water, Sewer. Hit that, and then you choose between those three. Option 4 for the village clerk, option 5 for the mayor, and option 6 for the cemetery. The cost of this, the total monthly recurring cost is $290, which actually, if you look at our bills, that's basically what we're paying for Verizon phone service right now. So what we're looking at is a one-time charge. Verizon would sell us the 10 phones for $85 each, for a total of $850. Kika, which is a subcontractor, and actually who Verizon recommended us going with, or they actually recommended going with a subcontractor, the phones are free. Tech support for the phones is $99 per phone, so it's $990 for the year as opposed to $850. But Kika does the entire setup and support, so they do the on-site installation, and then they train and they set up everything up. So we're looking at $1,000 to modernize our phone system. And we may get one more bid. I wouldn't be shocked. So what I would love tonight is a motion for us to approve and proceed with the most value-added bid, not to exceed $1,200, and get this phone system installed and take some of the pressure off our office staff.
Is that phone going to be movable to here?
Yeah, it's internet phone. The only other thing we have to do is increase our bandwidth at the village office because we have worse than the most basic level of Time Warner at the office. I don't know why, but it's pretty bad. So we would need to increase the bandwidth at the office, which we should do anyway because it does cause complications with other things that we do. And as we modernize the computer system and more things are done cloud-wise, we're going to need
So you think they can get this all done for $1,200 or less?
Yeah, yep.
Feel pretty confident, do you?
Well, you know, where they're throwing me is plus shipping, so I, you know, I don't know what they're gonna charge on the shipping. I hope it's not gonna be $220. You wanna make it 15 to be safe? I mean,
I don't want to get you put me in a bind. I think we need new phones, but you're going to do the best we
Just
can for us,
up
right?
it to 50.
I'll bet it's 15. And this would, again, this would be new phones for the office, a new phone at DPW, new phone at water sewer, new phone at the cemetery.
Answering machines.
Yeah, we'd all have answering machines, remote voicemail, all that stuff.
And once you have the codes, if we get any crank calls, you don't get it.
Yes.
No, I'm for it.
Although I hate the informality of the auto reception, I think it's something that we have to do.
Just, at times, the volume of calls coming in rec-wise can be overwhelming for them. And if you've ever tried to work on a financial document and the phone doesn't stop ringing, it's difficult. So, I think this is money well spent.
I'll make the motion.
Question,
Yes, sir.
what about internet access, is that included?
No, it doesn't include internet access. We're already paying, I think, around $100 a month for it, and I think, or we might be paying $95 a month. And the
We
police
have to pay
station,
the business rate.
yeah, the police station just increased their bandwidth, and I think they're paying $110 now. So it'd be about another $25 a month.
That's through a separate entity.
That's Time Warner, yeah.
Time Warner is now Spectrum,
Right,
instead
same.
of going Spectrum for phone and internet?
We did not look into Spectrum. We could, you know, if they can do something like this for that price, I can ask them for a quote.
Good idea.
I mean, we're setting the limit at 1,500, so if they don't come in under it, then, you know.
The thing is though, with the Spectrum, I don't think they provide the phones. I think that's just a service,
Could be.
but definitely worth checking into.
Go to Amazon, go to Amazon.
Well, yeah, it's, these phones are pretty complex. They're all voice over internet protocol, and I'm sure Time Warner provides them. I'm sure if I was a betting man, and I absolutely am, Time Warner's not gonna be cheapest, but we'll investigate it. Yeah, sure.
It's just a point, you have to have internet access, you need 11 gigs and 11 bandwidth.
Yep.
And Verizon also provides that, do they not?
They don't provide internet access, no. I mean, they do through DSL, but DSL's terrible. Yeah. Well, I'd love to get some fiber optic through the village.
Right, but they won't do it.
I would love for everyone to have an alternative to Spectrum for internet service.
Finger Licks keeps talking about it, and I don't trust him to get anything done lately.
So Hal, to move forward on this, are we going to check the Spectrum and then come back on this?
Let's do a motion to authorize to 1,500 after we get the Spectrum bid, and then
Plus any
whichever,
others.
plus any others, and then whatever we decide is the best one of those, not to exceed 1,500, we can move forward.
Okay.
Is that good with you guys?
I'll make that motion.
Second. And I have to say it all at once. You have to say everything.
Oh, I gotta what, say it?
Yeah,
Say it.
say it.
Oh my God. I make a motion that the mayor is authorized up to $1,500 to seek out the best solution for new phone system for the office.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, okay. Good. All right, so let's jump to M, Unified Solar Permit. Hey, I know you guys hate jumping around, but we gotta jump around. So there's a copy of it in here. And we did meet with the Landmark Society. to change some language here. So, to show that you're eligible for solar, you would have to not be in a historic district and thus subject to review by the Landmark Society of Portland County and approval by the National Registers of Historic Places Program, Section 14.09, National blah blah blah, and 106 NHPA review processes. So basically, it adds a little more review. So the Landmark Society would take a look and review, but also if your house is on the list of registered historic places, it has to go through the parks review process as well. And I think that gives adequate protection for the historic districts. And under permits and approvals required, item C, Landmark Society and National Register of Historic Places review is required if the property is located in the historic preservation district. So that should cover us all the way around. And if we were to approve this tonight, we would receive a $2,500 grant to be used for green energy, which also would be item I.
I'll make a motion to accept the New York State Unified Solar Permit as written.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Guys, all right, now we will move to item I, the electric vehicle charging station. So we have a quote, EV Connect, in your packet. So this, I reached out to them on advice of the Central New York Regional Planning and Development Board as probably the best people to go with. And the reason is they have a NYSERDA grant that they are in control of, that they are, it is awarded at their discretion. So if you look at the price of the charging station and the network, et cetera, it comes out to be, no, they didn't break it down to the actual total there, but it looks like, well, yeah, about $8,000. And then we would get a rebate from NYSERDA for that $8,000. So then we would be paying $665 plus tax for a total of $1,024. And then if we wanted to get the extended warranty, that would be an additional $400 for a total of $1,424.60, which the grant that we will get for the solar permit will cover that and leave us with $1,000 for installation, etc.
We're not 10%.
You know what?
We are.
We are. So it might even be better.
It's $400.
Yeah.
It's more toward the install.
Yeah.
It's more toward the install.
And again, the reason for doing this is if we get this done, so we've started benchmarking, we've now done the unified solar permit. If we do the charging station and then Craig completes his coach training, we're eligible for a $50,000 grant, which we can then turn around and use towards something like our LED lighting, which would save the taxpayers a bundle.
Because once we do that LED lighting, that's going to be a huge savings.
Huge savings.
It's going to save us $20K a year.
Yep.
Alwyn, we need to pick out, how do we want to do location for the EV Connect?
You know, we can work on, we can doodle it however you want to do it. So what this is for is an exterior mounted with snow clearance, they call it, or something to that effect. So it goes up 9 feet tall and then the wires go across, so that the plows can go under it and it won't damage it. It would be cheaper if we wall mounted it. I'm not sure where I was thinking, my thought originally was just looking really quickly. The handicap spot behind the village office, if we put it there and move the handicap spot to one of the 3 available spots right there by the ramp. And really, I think, if it were me, I'd probably because that one kind of crowds the ramp, so I would probably hash that one spot and then make the other one a handicap spot. Yes, sir.
I like it by the clock someplace so people can park on Main Street versus hiding behind our,
We can put it wherever we would like.
And we have a power meter there.
Sure.
And that would be on the Main Street, and there's some nice stores there.
Sure.
We want people to shop,
Yeah.
spend money.
Sure.
And I like that better, because we got that little black power thing.
Anywhere on Main Street, because it's,
I like Main Street better.
people,
281 maybe.
people coming into town for Center for the Arts or for shopping and stuff. Electric cars are really gonna be
Coming.
Yeah, they're
There
coming.
was a paragraph in there saying the number is now.
Yep.
It's only going to increase.
How about can we go ahead and approve this, and then we can
Decide the location.
decide the location at a later
Sure.
date. So I make a motion that we,
Input from the public.
right, I make a motion that we accept the EV Connect after just making sure that we're not taxed on it.
Right.
I'll second it.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
You guys are the
Then we
best.
can check with our constituents to see about a good place to put it.
And if they hear about it in the news, they'll come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, where we think is the best location.
All right, so,
Jay?
yes. Do we have that in our packet? I'm not sure. All right, so I'll bring it up on my computer. This meeting's an endurance test.
Are these EV stations pay as you go, they're going to the
Well,
bus?
That's a great
That's a
question.
great question, because I think it's really up to us to determine how we're gonna use it. We could make it so that everybody can just use it for free.
Yep, once it's installed, we can decide if it's free or if it's charged, or if it's free for an hour and then you have to pay, or, I think we're gonna kind of go by usage. If we have one person who just seems to come and charge their car all day long, every day, we might have to change things.
But yeah, we have the freedom for that.
Alright, so the next item is JLC. And this was, we looked at this at the work session, but here's the quote. It's for the income resurvey. And this would be, so they will come and explain the benefits and purpose, got that, obtain authorization from the USDA, draft the survey for state and federal guidelines and confidentiality mandates. Prior to distribution, they will randomly number each survey with the correlated address so that households will not be resurveyed. They will conduct and coordinate the survey mailing. Each mailing to all known households in the service area will include a cover letter approved by the village, the survey form, and a self-addressed stamped envelope. If necessary, and I expect it will be, they will conduct 3 or fewer door-to-door canvassing events of non-respondents to ensure the necessary return rate percentage per state and federal guidelines is achieved. G&G firmly believes the only way to obtain a favorable MHI is going door-to-door, which I agree with. They'll tabulate all survey returns, calculate the MHI, provide us and the USDA the findings. So what we need to do is provide them a master list of all residences in the survey area in a spreadsheet format, which we can do. Promote and advertise what they're doing, which we can do. Review and revise the cover letter, which we can do. Provide the postage for the mailing and return envelopes, and then assist them. So their cost is $9,500 plus postage. This is what Chris from B&L talked about as being a very good idea to help us favorably get more grants moving forward, especially for our infrastructure projects.
You just gotta beat 56K, right?
Well, we want to get down below 45.5, which I think we can.
You firmly believe that?
I do.
I'm skeptical, but I'll go for it.
I make a motion that we go ahead and go ahead, Kevin, as
Well, it's gonna cost over 10,000 to do it,
Right.
but there's no guarantee. We're gonna hit the cutoff.
Right, there's not a guarantee, but we're so close. We're not at 56. We're at like 47 and change.
You don't think it's going up?
So they base it on census data. You got to think of who's responding to census data. So who's taking the time to send back because they send out the income check resurveys to people. So you think about who's really taking the time to respond to those and who's not. And then I think that, I believe it's worth the effort, because it could turn around and save us $100,000 easily.
I think the bang for the buck, yeah, we're investing about 10 grand, but the opportunity is for us to save hundreds of thousands of dollars.
All these grants.
If we get it down,
If we don't, we're up to 10,000.
correct.
But the other thing is, we can also use this for other grants that we want to apply for. Oh, okay.
Somebody needs to go know what's.
I love it.
I'm
Nick,
skeptical.
this is going to be the first non-unanimous vote of my tenure.
All right, go ahead.
Isn't there some sort of grant money available for this process too?
I don't know about
For the
it.
survey itself?
Yeah. I thought I remember at that conference something about grant money possibly for doing this.
Jay didn't mention that. I don't know.
Put the caveat into the motion that you looked that up.
Okay.
Whoever's making that motion. I'm with him, by the way, as a skeptic, but I'm gonna vote for it.
If you guys both voted no, then I would be compelled to vote.
I think we should do
You know what?
I'll make a
I
motion.
like him,
that.
so.
All right, do it, Pat.
I'll make a motion that we move forward on the income survey resurvey, subject to the mayor responding back as to if grant money is available. However, if grant money is, whether grant money is available or not, that we move forward on this project.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Well, actually, I'm not going to say it. All in favor? You two, aye. All opposed? Oh! I vote aye, because I have to. Look at that, that's excitement.
Kaylee has to make sure
It's
she's
like
got
Monday Night Football.
We have to do something during this meeting. huh?
Yeah, it's good stuff. Okie dokie.
I knew it was gonna pass.
I like it. The next one should be an easy one. Resolution to accept the Town of Homer's recreation contract.
No, I haven't. And, when did this come up, by the way?
They sent it in to us like a month ago.
It's the same as last year, just we have to change it. Every year.
Yeah, but their budget starts in January or December, so they just wanted to have it in so we can do the budget. I would like to look at it, seeing I'm on the rec board supposedly, so you probably take over for me because you've got more rec people than me. But the monies and stuff, and I had some issues with it before about fairness and rates and that kind of stuff, and I did some spreadsheets. And we spend an awful lot on rec, and there's nothing wrong with rec, I'm all for it, but I want fairness. And I'm just a little concerned that the village residents pay significantly more than they probably should for what they get out of it. It's a good program, and it does 1,028 or 1,050 activity persons. Some people do more than one activity, but it's a $80,000 budget. For, you know, but they get money's in, they get their $10 and $5 and that kind of stuff. So there is money coming in, but it's a significant amount. And I guess I would like a little time to review it.
Is there a timeline? Are they under a time constraint for this?
I think they can.
Then I make a motion that we table this until our rec trustees have had a chance to review said contract.
Sounds great. Second?
Can we set up a date to get together and do that, or?
Absolutely.
Or anything like that?
Absolutely. Whenever you're available, because I think you probably should take over rec first, or me. Because you got more people.
You're in.
Yeah.
No, really. I mean, but I did look at the numbers, and I do have the spreadsheets. They're probably right in here, but, you know, and they're probably close. I just want to make sure that it's good.
That's fine. So next week we'll set aside some time. to-
Sure, I'm back next week.
Okay.
We're going to be out the storage facilities next week. We have a director of rec. This is question.
Is that going to go into executive session for personnel?
Well, I mean, part A can, Nancy resigned today. She said it was more of a time commitment than she had anticipated.
Yes, I can see that. I thought she would have seen it.
What?
I thought she would have seen it.
Well-
She agreed to it.
I think my first question to her was, you know this is a lot of hours.
Especially during the summer.
I don't know, I think she was caught up in the moment. So, if you want to stick around for the first few minutes of executive session, if you wouldn't mind.
That's because Ward is a member of the rec committee.
Yes,
Softer chair? I'll see what I can do.
he's on the rec.
Yeah, Ward's on the rec committee,
And
so,
I just wanted to clarify that, just so
Yeah.
that people didn't think that it was something.
yeah. Okay. Because he was in on the interview process for rec director. Okay, next item up is the website redesign. And I'm not sure this is in our packet, but we did go over it in the work session. I reached out to 7 or 8 vendors for quotes. We received 2. One from Keegan and Associates for roughly $13,000, and one from I'll bring it up here. One from CG Media Partners for $4,000. And I sent out a link to some of the sites that they had developed to you guys in your email. I'm obviously leaning towards the one that's $4,000.
No doubt.
So can we do a motion to approve CG Media Partners to redesign our website for $4,000 with a reoccurring fee of $165 a month, which covers hosting, automatic backup, SMS, notification costs, and 2 hours of support, plus all add-ins associated with WordPress?
I just wanted to, we covered this before, I just want to read it, so we can still add and we can adjust and change ourselves.
Yeah, this is to give us the power to make it so much easier for us to fix our website and change it. Right now, it's not intuitive, it's not easy to do. To find the text that is the homepage text, I actually found it on accident. One day.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
So I just wanted to make sure that when
Yeah.
we make this change,
yeah, this will give us exponentially more control over our content. As well as, let's see, WordPress content management system, which will include a WYSIWYG editor interface for editing page content. New design will incorporate all requirements listed, including the configuration of a Notify Me service, utilizing Twilio that will allow residents to subscribe to village alerts and announcements via text message and email subscription. Configuration of a report a problem ticket system for village departments to receive direct reports of problems from residents, to track issues through resolution, and a community calendar that residents may submit events to.
sounds good.
So I made the motion with, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Computel, this may or may not be in your packet. We talked about this in the work session. Computel is a service that goes through and looks at our gross receipts tax and franchise fees for National Grid, Spectrum, NICEAG, Constellation, on and on and on, Verizon, AT&T. They do not charge a fee, it's a contingency, so they get 40% of whatever funds they recover for us. So we get 60%, and then also they fix any inconsistencies or problems for us going forward, which is also a long-term benefit. So we have literally nothing to lose.
It's a no-brainer.
No-brainer? All in favor of approval of Computel?
Aye.
Oh, I should make a motion, do a motion instead.
There you go.
Who wants to do a motion?
I'll do a motion.
Who wants to do a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, sorry. And that, yeah, staff update is actually executive session. Attorney.
I don't really have much to report. I do have something to talk about in executive session. The only thing is, there's a section of the code called buildings dangerous, which I think will be perfect to put our placard on to.
Perfect.
So I'm gonna edit it with that title and put that out to you guys soon. And also see if she likes it too, but I don't think it's going to work. Awesome. We'll be able to approve that next month's meeting.
Okay, perfect. Comments by board members? Yes, sir.
Question. I'll tell you something in the code. I get this approved. Okay, must have all to the code.
That'll come to us as, you know, I mean, we will approve it, but then we'll have to incorporate it into the code.
Yeah, we'll have an actual public hearing on it next month. This is just sort of like a drafting session, discussion. Okay. Thank you.
I want to give Charlie a heads up. We're going to go clean out the storage session building next week. They poured concrete over at the DPW, and they're going to move it over there under a building, so it'll be dry. So we're going to do it next week. Yeah, they poured it. Yeah, they were leveling it the other day, and they just wanted to harden. And the nice thing about that concrete is they wanted to be able to put some cop cars in it during the winter, because right now they're outdoors all the time, and they go over and they get washed, and then they go out, and their door locks freeze, and that kind of stuff. And so they don't use only one car at night, and so there's some other ones there, so they're gonna use that facility to just kind of keep them a little warmer too. But we're gonna do it next week, so we can review for any antiques or whatever. And I do know the people upstairs want those kind of chairs back. You know, they're using them. There are, but, you know, we're moving back. I'm just saying, okay, never mind. That's the only comment I have.
I only have one thing. Two of the vendors that we're looking at for the LED lighting, for the street lighting, they came back to me saying that they have the updated numbers and figures Hal and I both question whether or not they have them because we've been trying to get the updated numbers from Grid, and we haven't received them yet, so we're wondering how they received them before us. But they're going to probably both be at our next work session to give us a presentation. So we'll see what they got, we'll review it, and if it seems worth it, then we'll go from there.
I'll reach out to Dave Pass at National Grid and ask him,
Yeah.
hey man, where's our copy?
Yeah, yep. So that's just a little update on that, where we're at with that.
Oh, I think we've covered enough right now. It's
Yeah.
2.5 hours, so,
Mine was brief, so I figured.
yeah.
All right, then we need a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make a motion.
Discuss matters of personnel.